To Take Back with Zac, where we cover the hottest topics in the sporting world, including deep dives into the best teams to ever exist. I'm already messed up. I'm 2 seconds in. I'm already making mistakes. The Lakers, the Chargers, and the Anaheim Angels, as well as all of the news from around the world of sports. We're also doing a live watch along right now to San Francisco and San Diego. We got some day baseball up in the Bay. Day baseball in the Bay. This show is available everywhere you get your podcasts, and the video is available on YouTube. This is the first hour of a 4-hour live show on Twitch and YouTube, so if you like this, you're going to love the full show, brother. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. Pacific time, and we're also live every single night following the NBA playoff games. I know a lot of you have come over from the NBA playoff game, post-game TBWZ widescreen radio show brought to you by Starbucks Nitro Cold Brew. When you're in need of a cold brew, hop on with Starbucks. That's their slogan. I didn't make it up. I didn't write it. On today's show, we're going to be covering the NBA playoffs, ethical hoops, Luka Doncic, the college football playoff schedule, and much, much more. But today, we begin the show the same way we begin every single show with today's verse of the day. It's a very, very short one, but it's an important one. This comes to you from Galatians 1, a letter from Paul. This is his greeting to the church and in Galatia, I believe. I mean, I should know that. Verse 10, obviously I'm not trying to win the approval of people, but of God. If pleasing people were my goal, I would not be Christ's servant. Man will not be pleased by man, brother. There's not much you could do in life if you're just trying to please other people and make other people around you happy. You're just not going to get far, dude. A true servant of Christ does not worry about serving or making other people around them or success in the eyes of the people around them, but only success in what God has in store for them. Can I get an amen in the chat? We also do the movie of the day. Today's movie of the day is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. A classic like none other. Bueller, sorry, not here. Instead, high schooler Ferris Bueller, his girlfriend Sloane, and his best bud Cameron are off on the spontaneous romp through Chicago, known as Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You'll also enjoy righteous bonus material that give you an insider's peek at the hilarious comedy hit from John Hughes. So barf up along, forge a sick note from the parents, and tag along to the funniest adventure to ever sweep through the Windy City. What are you still doing here? Save Ferris. All right, here we go. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, classic film from a classic time in America. Amen, brother. First time watching this part of the show, it's fire. Wait till we eat. We haven't even started yet, brother. Let's get into it. It is now time for the Power Hour. Listen, guys, I'm going to start today with a little bit of an essay, something I don't usually do. What with the state of the world as it is right now, politics being the way that they are, freedoms are under attack in America. I thought it'd be prevalent if we start today with a small essay from Veenie. The collective of brothers and sisters that assume the role of fan in this at times great country of ours have a massive shortcoming that needs to be addressed immediately. There has always been a shockingly close resemblance to the inner workings of a toddler's brain and one of a fully functioning adult sports fan. There's a childlike whimsy that every backwards hat wearing bro possesses deep within their sports loving soul. The backwards hat guys need to chill out. It's immature. I'll give you an example. I literally I'm a prof comic. I brought a hat with me to show you guys what I'm talking about, okay? Listen. Look at this. Normal guy. Repping his team. Hanging out. Hat forward. You know, the hat was originally invented as a function, right? To block the sun. The sun is bright. You didn't turn into TBWZ for science, but what this is a formula. Right now, I'm a normal guy. I'm presentable. Maybe I'm running some groceries. Could be at a brewery. Either way, I'm just hanging out, having a normal time with my hat forward, okay? I look presentable. If I shake your hand and tell you my first and last name, you're going to say, that man has credibility. Now watch this, okay? What up, dude? Do you see it? Complete loser. This guy is immature. This guy does not know how to balance a checkbook. This guy doesn't pay his taxes on time. I think I left a window open. Do you see the immaturity that a backwards hat can bring? This guy has no credibility. This guy tells me about his 5-leg parlay, and I just like one ear out the other, brother. Let's start collectively as a group. Can we just, as men, start wearing our hats forwards? I'm not doing this thing of like, hey, you know, it's better if no, there's no function to this hat. Remember rule 1 of hats, function, sun is bright. This does nothing. Bro, what am I doing? Protecting the back of my neck? I got sunblock for a reason. The backwards hat guys in this country are just becoming an epidemic. Even worse, bro. This guy, tall hat head guy, brother's trying so hard to look like Chet Holmgren with an elongated face. My friend Cole has a great bit. Like the hat is like a dial of mental health awareness. This guy, very normal. This guy, certifiably insane. I saw a bunch of dudes wearing backwards hats online all the time. I absolutely hate it. If you are a backwards hat guy, my hair looks horrible. I appreciate you on a deep personal level, but can we start just wearing the hats forward? Thank you, Sugo. Chargers hat, though, maybe a little bit less credibility now. Said C4. Sugo said best take I've had all year. POV that fake Chet Holmgren. His face is so long. The fan and the child share the same combination of fear, anxiety, and panic. But no, that is not what makes a fan sing songs like sparrows dancing along the morning dew. It is once you add the secret ingredient of passion that leads the tax-paying member of society to paint their entire body orange and shout, "Incomplete!" every time Gardner Minshew misses a wide-open Christian Kirk. Yes, passion, the secret ingredient of all insanity. In my time here as your captain of the sports seas, your pilot of the patriarch, gliding us safely to the silly, I've come across many sports fans. We come in different shapes, sizes, colors, and genders. We come from diverse backgrounds and increasingly polarizing dynamics with our own socioeconomic status. Some of us excel in scholastics and carry the burden of intelligence with us as a daily struggle. Others think that Jews control the weather. No matter who you root for, who you cheer for, where you were born, or what makes you dance, every sports fan suffers from the same thing: overreaction. There is an epidemic in this country right now, and it is overreaction. When we come to the playoffs, we come with such a love and a gusto for our fans and for our teams. As Slade, it's a 20-stream streak. Wow, Slade, welcome to the TBWZ universe, brother. The playoffs are a time of celebration. You've spent an entire season achieving a ticket to the dance. Now that you're here, all of the anxiety, all of that fear, all of those emotions that we share with toddlers bubble up to the surface. When you sprinkle in that magic dust of passion, that's how we become insane. Now, I'm not saying insanity is bad for a sports fan. If you're not insane about your team or incredibly delusional, I don't know if you're truly a fan. The worst guy in the world is the guy who's like a fan of it. He's like, oh, I'm a Saints fan, but like we're not very good. A true fan believes in your team no matter what. Last year, Jets fans at the beginning of the year were telling us how Justin Fields was going to be an amazing quarterback and they were going to win a lot more games than people thought. They were completely wrong. They were delusional the entire time. But gosh darn it, they stood on business. Overreaction to one game in an NBA playoff series is the most detrimental thing that you could do to your mental health. Last series against the Boston Celtics, the 76ers lost by 100 points in game 1. They went on to win the whole thing by 7. In 7. The Los Angeles Lakers took a 3-0 lead over the Houston Rockets. Everybody crowned LeBron James the best to ever do it. Then, the Rockets won 2 straight, and we were on the verge of losing a 3-0 series lead, and everyone said LeBron is a fraud and he stinks. Then we win in Game 7. Well, then the Lakers win Game 6, and everyone say the Rockets stink. That's why they won. It's overreaction every single step of the way. I need everyone just to pump the brakes. To all the Spurs fans, okay? To all the Sixers fans, to the Cavs fans, and even the Lakers fans. Your team lost the first game of your playoff series. Hold tight, brother. Home games are on the horizon. You can lose the first 2 on the road, win the next 2 at home. Bada bing, bada boom, this thing is darn even. Let's not jump to conclusions and overreact over one loss. Let's not overreact to one win. Can we just band together and join Veenie in being chill? Be delusional, but be chill about it. Chill delusion. That's what we're getting for. Is the line going to be open anytime soon? Usually at the end of the power hour once I finish all my notes, C4. Oreo's cool. Oreo's a Spurs fan. He's cool. Slade, we are going to get to that in just a second. Yes, Joel Embiid has officially been ruled out of tonight's game against the Knicks. It's going to be very, very tough for the Sixers. Also, Jared Vanderbilt dislocated his pinky so bad that the bone broke skin. So it looks like he's going to be missing some games for the Lakers. The tough part is, Oreo, yes, the Spurs did lose at home. That is cause for a bit of overreaction, or a slight bit of panic, but we're not going to overreact. I have so many notes on the NBA playoffs, and we're going to get to those in just a moment. But before, there is a story happening right now in college football that I would be remiss not to bring up with the boys on the show. The AFCA, which is the American Football Coaches of America, I didn't even know that was a thing. The AFC, had anybody heard of the AFCA? Do you think they have a website? Let's check this out. AFCA. Oh, come on now. Oh, they have a convention in Indianapolis? Bro, all right, 2027, mark your calendars. February. Oh, dude, Valentine's Day too? That's so sick. Of course the AFCA hosts a convention on Valentine's Day. You know they plotted this all around that day. Because I'm going to go out on a limb and say most of the members of the AFCA are American men. It'd be sick if there was just like a Chinese woman in here. And she's like, yo, what up? I don't know. I made her black. Dude, a convention starting on Valentine's Day is so awesome. And of course it's in Indianapolis, so you got to throw in some of the checkered flag because we couldn't be talking about Indy without talking racing. Indianapolis is a bad town, by the way. The American Football Coaches Association was founded to ensure that every football coach receives the finest professional development, support, and resources available. The spacing is so insane. Look how big this gap is between available and we. I mean, the kerning is way off on this website. Bro, the website designer stretched this thing out so bad. We bring relevant topics and current advancements directly to your desktop. Okay, I want this. We are committed to football coaching education and helping you reach and exceed your goals for success with our professional development series. All right, look it. Okay, so there's no double gap between a long and the end of series right here. Very normal spacing here. Whatever happened here? Someone needs to let them know that they have a spacing issue on their website. Attention to detail, brother. That's what Veenie brings to the game. What do you bring? Along with industry networking, membership provides a forum for you to find professional football coaching jobs nationwide. I need this. By joining the AFCA, you have full access to a group of like-minded, well-respected individuals in the coaching profession. Like-minded. Dude, this is the best part. By joining the AFCA, you have full access to a group of like-minded. Okay, what does that mean? Skip all these other words. By joining the AFCA, you are like-minded to all of the professional coaches in America. You are now Mike Vrabel. Don't cheat on your wife, though. This logo absolutely cooks, too. Let's get AFCA merch. Founded in 1922. How am I just hearing about this? Bro, the uniform is so old. Update this, brother. Make him black. I saw a Grasshoppers game today. Let's go. Bro, can we apply for the AFCA? First of all, we're all going to the convention. Or you're the cat. We're sending you to Indianapolis to cover the AFCA for us. I think Sugo needs to sign up for this. I think we're going to sign Sugo up for the AFCA. Are you currently an active football coach? No. Oh, should we watch this highlight video? Wait, how much does it cost? Allied 2 membership for individuals not currently coaching. This price is subject to review and will be reduced based on application responses. $300 a year to join the AFCA? Fellas, who are we going to sign up for this? I vote Sugo. Sugo, I think we're going to sign you up for the AFCA, bro. We need a TBWZCA. A Take Back With Zac association. A TBWZA. A TBWZA. The AFC basically announced that they have, how do I put this? they have endorsed the idea of a 24-team playoff in college football. But along with that, a couple of scheduling changes to the great game of college football that you and I love so much. The AFC board announced Tuesday, this is a direct quote from ESPN's article, 4 proposed calendar changes. These changes are ending conference championship games. That's change number 1. Reducing open weeks in seasons from 2 to 1. That's basically bye weeks. Instead of 2, they get 1 now. Which you're like, they don't get 2 buys. The week 0 in the schedule is like, most teams use that as a bye, then they get another one late in the season. And if you play week 0, you get kind of 2 buys throughout. USC last year played week 0, got 2 buys throughout the season. They want to preserve an exclusive window for the Army-Navy game, shout out the troops, in December, but allowing postseason games to be played on the same day. That's basically, remember that week before the playoffs start, or before any of the bowl games start? After conference championships, it's just Army-Navy week. Yeah, sorry to the troops. We want to like reserve that window so you guys have your standalone slot on NBC or wherever you play it every year. But we also want to play games that day. The last one is reducing the minimum number of days between games to no fewer than 6. Right now, the minimum number of days between games is 7, meaning they like need a full week off in between games. They're trying to reduce that down to 6. I think that one's fine. My aunt is a streamer. Are you serious, Candy? C4's aunt is a streamer? Bro, what's Unc doing? This is essentially a proposal to combat the current issues with the scheduling nightmare that is the college football playoff and the transfer portal window. Side note on the transfer portal window. It's the best name in sports for a thing, right? For an entity, for an event, right? Draft day is like a cool like event. That's a good name. Obviously, bullpen is one of the greatest sports terms that we have. Baseball has a lot of them, okay? Just strike 3 in general. Hi-ya! I think we could add that into the lexicon of sports terms. Unabated to the quarterback. They've kind of gotten that out of the lexicon, but that is a great sports term. All right, let's do this show. Just drop your favorite sports terms in the chat or in the comments below. Just drop your favorite sports terms while we get after it. Do we have 2 people named C4? No, it's just C4, but I realize it's Candy. I realize it's Candy, so I think I'm going to call him Candy. Her name is Ravishing Ray? Okay. All right. Not saying anything. Well, you said she's your aunt. Is this one of those situations where it's like, how do I put this? You have an older sibling, maybe, that, you know how when, like, there's a kid that has an older sibling that's, like, 10 years older than them, and they have a kid, and that kid's, like, 7 years old and becomes an uncle? Is that the situation, Candy? Or is she, like, auntie? Is she, like, 40? I don't know why it matters. Age doesn't matter. But transfer portal is such an amazing name. Free agency is so bland, dude. Transfer portal adds a layer of sci-fi and excitement that sports are always missing out on. We need more science fiction in sports. More lasers. Can we get a little more futuristic? When I think of like the future of sports, I always think of football uniforms, right? And not the uniforms itself, but like the actual padding, the equipment that they use. Dude, one day helmets are going to be so sick. Helmets are just going to be force fields. One of the big issues with NFL players and like name, image, and likeness is the fact that their face is covered by a mask the entire game, and it's hard to see them. Right now, when I say Isaiah Stewart, Beef Stew, Detroit Pistons, you guys know what he looks like. You know his dreads, you know his big fat headband, you know his square face. And Isaiah Stewart is not a very like relevant person in the NBA. He's obviously really good. He's on a good team, but we know his face way more than we know the face of Brian Thomas Jr. Could anybody draw Maserati Marv from memory? There's an issue with professional athletes in college, in football, not having their faces viewable. I think one day the helmets in the NFL are just going to be force fields around them. Like they're going to have just like this glowing blue force field around them that just that prevents them from experiencing pain. The hits are going to get way, way gnarlier when that happens. One of the reasons in football that the hits got bigger and bigger and bigger is the equipment improved. So when they were just wearing leather, right? Oh, actually, dude, think of it. Football derives from rugby, and they don't wear pads in rugby. That's why the tackles are like grab and pulls rather than like hit you and try to absolutely murder you and bury you 6 feet under. The difference is they started developing equipment. So they started wearing pads. When they started doing that, they started hitting harder. When they put helmets on, they started hitting harder because they felt more protective. As the days went on, the pads got bigger and bigger and bigger until we had Boz in the 80s with a neck roll and a septum piercing, absolutely demoralizing people. Shout out to Boomer Sooner. I think one day the pads in football are going to get so technologically advanced that we're actually going to see death on the field. And I'm not talking no like DeMar Hamlin death. I'm talking like real, actual, he's deceased, goodbye forever type death. That's going to be bad, dude. Oh, man, it's going to be really bad. Dude, a lot of people's favorite player died when Kobe died in the car, in the helicopter crash, obviously. But dude, like right now, imagine being like 8 years old and like your favorite, like Ashton Genty dies on the field. This is a horrible topic of conversation. Who brought this up? See, when I go off script, this is the kind of thing that happens. Like, you know what Jonathan Isaac looks like, but not Travis Etienne. Or the cat, I think that's the point, man. I think you got it. She's 30-something. Let's go. Basically, what happens in college football is this transfer portal opens up on January 2nd and it closes on the 16th, meaning players have a 2-week window to speed date 50-year-old men and see how much money they can swindle out of the hands of the Nepo baby car dealership guru in Birmingham, Alabama. For context, the semifinals this year were played on the 8th of January and the Natty on the 19th. If you guys know anything about context, those two dates are in the middle of the transfer portal window opening up. This is the reason Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss when he did, before the playoffs even started. There would be a competitive disadvantage for him to miss out on the early opening of the transfer portal window in order to coach a team to the national championship. It's almost like a disadvantage for next year if you make a long run in the college football playoff. Look what happened to Ohio State. They were dominant. They were so insane. Everyone's like, this is the best team ever. They lost in round 1 of the playoff. Round 2, they didn't have enough. Yeah, they had a bye in the first round. Not having the time to properly scout and properly go into the transfer portal and pick guys is a huge detriment to teams. Bro, in the middle of preparing for the national championship, Kurt Cignetti was having guys visiting Indiana. They signed Josh Hoover, their quarterback, for next year during their practice time for the Natty. It just doesn't work, bro. That's the reason Lane left, is to start recruiting. He also wanted to start sniffing around the LSU sororities, but, you know, football first, coach. Now, listen, I think all of us can get behind the proposal to move the playoff games up and start playing games on that Army-Navy week. Listen, shout out to the troops through and through. Thank you for your service. Absolutely love you. But, dog, that game sucks. That game is stinky doo-doo crap. If it wasn't steeped in patriotism, no one would give a crap about that game. I'm all for moving playoff games up and starting to play on that week. So that moves us 1 week further, right? Indiana had a 27-day break between the Big Ten title game and their first playoff game. That's just too much time. By moving all that up, we get rid of that terrible, terrible gap in gameplay. Reducing bye weeks from 2 to 1, we're good on that, right? We're all good in the chat. Reducing bye weeks from 2 to 1. They don't need 2. The NFL doesn't get 2. College football doesn't get 2. We're good there. But what about getting rid of conference championship games? Wow. That's rust, not rest. I cannot wait for a rust-rest conversation coming up here soon after the Thunder sweep the Lakers. Getting rid of conference championship games? The AFCA is proposing that we get rid of conference championship games for the schedule. Listen, man, the entire goal of this proposal is to end the college football season before the transfer portal window opens up, giving all teams and players the same opportunity to enter the portal and start dating guys. Without starting the season in June, the only real way to make this happen is to get rid of the conference championship games. Why not just start it in June? Can you imagine? Football next month? Football in July sounds awesome. Why don't we push the transfer portal back? Or the cat, incredible question. I'm going to tell you right now why. College football is played by universities. Universities revolve around a semester schedule. There's a spring semester, there's a fall semester and a spring semester, okay? And in between is winter break. The transfer portal lines up with winter break. in between semesters, because you cannot enroll a student once the semester has begun. And at the end of the day, these kids are still playing for schools. They are still students. The reason you can't just push the portal back, because if you push it back, the semester would have already began. So guys cannot be switching schools in the middle of a semester, so they have to switch schools in between semesters. The problem is right now, that's when we do the playoff, in between semesters. So, since you cannot move the window to transfer, you have to move the whole season up. My EOGs are in 17 days. Wish me, Candy, I don't even know what those are. What are YOGs? This is and part of the reasoning behind the AFCA wanting to move this whole thing is to make room for the 2014 playoff. We'll get to that in a little bit, okay? But a big proposal of this is a big way to make this happen and get the season done before the transfer portal opens up. That's a long foul ball into the water. Gavin Sheets. Bottom of the fourth, 0-0 game, San Diego, San Francisco. The way to move it up and end the season before the transfer portal opens up, part of that is getting rid of conference championship games. This is a sport entrenched in nostalgia and history. How can you possibly even propose such an idea? How can you possibly even propose such an idea that completely obliterates the great history of our game? Dude, they've been playing the SEC championship game since 1992. Oh, wait a second. What? 92. I thought it was going to be like 1920. They've been playing the Big 12 one since 1996. The ACC has been playing a conference championship game since 2005. And the Big 10 since 2011. Gavin Sheets has hit a home run. Huh. It looks like these conference championship games are not steeped in history and tradition like many people think. These games are a relatively new invention, and one that I think most people would be okay with getting rid of if it means moving the playoff up and fixing the schedule. Realistically, though, this is as much about expanding to 24 teams as it is finishing the season before the portal opens. They need to prepare the calendar for a 24-team playoff, because right now, it doesn't even fit a 12-team playoff. The issue here is I don't think anybody who watches college football asked for a 24-team playoff. Like, really? No, nobody I know asked for that. The amount of bum teams that would be in the playoff in a 24-team format is absolutely hysterical. It's also like, I don't think it helps you whittle down to the best team, because any given Sunday, someone can go out and lay an egg. I know Indiana was so dominant last year. They almost lost at home to Penn State. Sorry, I was on the road. They almost lost to Penn State last year. It took a game-winning drive for Fernando Mendoza with like a minute 30 left on the clock to march all the way down and score a touchdown with no time remaining for them to complete their perfect season. Every single team is susceptible to this. So you want to add more games to a schedule and have 24 more teams, double the playoff field, and double the amount of opportunity for the best of the best to lose? That's not what we want. Last year, what we had at the end of it was the two best teams remaining. I even think we had the four best teams remaining in Ole Miss, Georgia, Miami, and Indiana. You give more opportunity. What's that word called? Deviation? I don't know. It just gives more opportunity for a funkiness to happen that we don't want. We want the best four teams left. We want the champion to be the champion. We don't want to say like, man, if Texas didn't lose that game to Baylor, they should have been the natty. No, dude. Don't let Baylor in it in the first place. What up, Parker? What up, JD? End of grade tests. Nice, Candy. Finals. There we go. It also eliminates bad teams from making playoffs if there are no conference champions. The other thing is like, yeah, I mean, conference championships game, I don't think most teams want to play in it. I think it's a disadvantage to play in the conference championship game right now. I know they're doing like the whole, we're not going to punish you for like playing or losing a conference championship game. But Georgia and Bama played an SEC game in the SEC title game, and then Bama had to turn right around and play Oklahoma the next week in the playoff. They won the game, which is cool, but that's a whole week of rest that teams like Ole Miss got just for not even playing in the game. Or just like Oklahoma got for not even playing in the game. See, Oreo? It's good to talk about football, man. Football is so refreshing, bro. I've been going to war every single day of the NBA playoffs, fighting for the right just to love ball. And every step of the way, someone tries to pull me down. But not with football. Nah, everyone loves it. Everyone just bands together and celebrates the game on the gridiron because it's what we love more than anything. There are men that love football more than their family. In Texas, they have a saying. It says God, family, football, in that order. The dude who says that is also the one that skips church on Sunday when his favorite team is playing in the early slot and spends his family vacation money on a 5-leg parlay that includes C.J. Stroud over 15.5 rushing yards. God, family, football? Brother, it's football, football, football! Didn't mean to press that one. I cannot wait for football. But right now, it's NBA playoff time! Let's get polarizing. Wemby's a total scumbag cheater. He's breaking. Dude, one time my Korean friends, Sam and JD, shout out to them. They dressed up as Walter White and Jesse Pinkman for Halloween. And I commented on their Instagram, Blaking Blad. And I got a lot of hate for that one. But it was a funny one. 2 Asian guys dressed up as Walter White and Jesse Pinkman instead of Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad. You know what I mean? I have a basketball game tomorrow. Let's go, Candy. Can't wait. When are you going to open up the phone lines? In a little bit, Parker, once I finish the power hour. Spurs and Wolves series. Game 1 goes to Minnesota. It's a 2-point game. It was an unbelievable one. We get another one tonight. I'm excited for it. Rudy Gobert went full proletariat on Wemby, sending his bourgeoisie ass to the stocks to be publicly shamed and ridiculed. The man spent an entire fortnight wrestling a Serbian bear at 5,000 plus feet altitude, only to be rewarded with the task of destroying his young Padawan and feared French counterpart. Gobert and Julius Randle both took turns making Wemby a non-factor offensively, which, brother, the Spurs were clearly not ready to overcome. The only team that truly ever got robbed in the CFP is TCU in 2014. All right. I don't remember that. Do you remember when TCU played in the national championship game and lost by 100 to Georgia? Because the Big 12 didn't have a conference champion at the time, they didn't put them. Huh, interesting. Was that the TCU team that had Andy Dalton? Or was that, yeah, that had to have been Andy Dalton, right? Was Andy Dalton at TCU? Wait. Do I have this completely wrong? Who was the guy that was like 28? Josh something. Josh McCown? He went to the Browns? Where did Carson Wentz play? I'm completely forgetting. Did he play at North Dakota State? I'm mixing up Andy Dalton, Carson Wentz, and then that guy from the Browns that I can't remember. No, it's the TCU team with Trayvon Boykin. There we go. Classic. Blast from the past. I think both of these teams playing in this series are not going to be able to score very well in the paint. I think it's going to be difficult with the dueling Eiffel Towers in there, swatting every attempt into the pink, orange, and blue Fiesta pack in the stands. Hey, San Antonio, your shirts are gay. Three-point shooting is going to be the most important statistic in this series, as I will assume whoever shoots better from behind the arc is going to win every single game in this series. The makes were even, but efficiency-wise, Minnesota did outshoot from 3. I think that's going to be the stat to watch out for in this series. Anthony Edwards only played 25 minutes of the game. He would usually play 40, and he still had 18, 3, and 3. The man is built to kill and destroy opposing teams and players, and that is exactly what he is doing to San Antonio. The matchup down low is obviously the most fun thing I've seen two French 7-footers do in my entire life. But I think this series is going to be won or lost on the perimeter. I know the Spurs have great guards. I know they have De'Aaron Fox. I know they've got talent out there. I know they have Vassell and Castle and Champagny and a bunch of dudes who can play scrappy good basketball. But you got to think there's an edge on the perimeter, given the fact that Minnesota has Anthony Edwards being freaky and Jaden McDaniels like a foot taller than any guard San Antonio has. Game 1 was a blast, and I expect the rest of this series to be a true celebration en France and hoops. Bien joué! Help, I like girls and I didn't know how to tell my parents. Wow, that's a tough one. I told my parents I like girls by, how did I do it? Just having a girlfriend. Just talking. Preach, brother. Those Fiesta Back shirts are awful. Andy Dalton went to TCU. Carson Wentz did go to North Dakota State. Hey, Veenie's 2 for 2 on today. The guy I'm thinking of, Brandon Wheaton. I think he went to Oklahoma State. Didn't he play with who's the wide receiver who smoked a bunch of weed, got in trouble? Josh something? He was so good at football. I don't think you guys understand how good he was at football. And now players are allowed to blaze. That's the hard part. They need to retroactively give him stats. Just whatever his average is over the time that he did play, just give him that over the time he was suspended too. And just reward him 150 catches. Hey, here you go. Why can't they do that? I don't know. Let's do more fun things like that in the NFL. I told mine when Transformers came out, let's go, dude. I saw Megan Fox and I was like, boing. That was quite a moment for a lot of men my age. That was a moment, and then the next moment, guys, I was a sophomore in high school when The Wolf of Wall Street came out. None of us were 17, so we couldn't buy tickets. Dude, it was a mission and a half trying to sneak into that movie theater. But a lot of us did. A lot of us found our way in. A lot of us found Margot Robbie that day, and we never, ever looked back. The Knicks and the Sixers. This is a series that just took a turn for the worst in this diabolical tease being played between New York and Philly. Yeah, okay, all right. So we've done the whole if Embiid is healthy thing for the past 7 years. We're just going to continue to keep on rolling that one along the lexicon as Embiid has been officially ruled out for Game 2 against the Knicks. A huge blow for sports fans around the world. According to Shams Charania, do you think his girlfriend calls him Shams? Oh, Shams. That's inappropriate. Apparently, he is suffering from both ankle and hip injuries. For me, in my experience, in my 30 years of life, injuries are typically quite self-contained to one area of the body. For Joel Embiid, his entire body is one amorphous blob of pain and suffering. His body is breaking down right before our eyes, and as we scream at him from a distance behind a cell phone, quit being soft and get in the game, it's playoff time, Joel. Dude, imagine being on an injury report at all, first of all. If I'm on an injury report, I'm definitely very hurt. But hip and ankle, two completely different parts of the body. Sure, lower half. They share a bed. Ankle and hip. How do you walk? Dude, if my knee slightly aches, I can't do anything today. I'm having an off day. My Achilles tendons have been tight for 2.5 years. I don't know what to do about it. I'm not going to start stretching. Dude, the people are like, you need to stretch more. Get out. You need to lift more. The people who tell me I need to stretch more are always so weak and have no gains. You should really stretch more. You can't bench 185. I'm sorry I'm repping 225 like it's easy, bro. Sorry I rep 225 with my eyes closed. Sorry I'm big, beefy, and strong. I don't lift a weight under 40 pounds. I do dumbbell flies with 40s, bro, because I'm big and jacked like that. Stretch more. You're soft. You should really think about stretching more. You should really think about shutting up. Wow. Oh, I see you working on the TRX bands. Oh, cool. You can do a chin up? Can you hang clean 205? Castellanos gets a nice little base hit into left center field. He's going to be on first base. Nobody out, top of the fifth. They're up 1-0. San Diego is over the San Francisco Giants, who've had a terribly miserable season. Yes, Brandon Whedon did go to Oklahoma State with Justin Blackmon. Fun fact, though, Brandon Whedon played 5 seasons in the MLB before Oklahoma State. Wow. Fun, very fun fact. I thought he was Mormon. I thought that was the reason that he was so old. That's crazy, dude. 28 years old playing against 17-year-olds. No wonder he was a first-round pick or whenever he was drafted. And then an absolute bum in the NFL. Terrible, terrible PFP right there. Come on, Hauser. You got to figure it out. PFP is little baseball lingo, guys. Pitcher fielding practice. The pitchers, every single day, they do their bullpen, they do their stretching, they do their long toss, they do all the things they need to do and get warmed up, and they also do PFPs every day. I have my notification set as FA, and it's frying me so bad. On TikTok, whenever someone follows, there's a fa sound effect as well, so that happens. Maybe a hot take: if Knicks and OKC are in the finals, Paycom will be louder than MSG. Dude, C4. Oh, whoa, we do have 2 C4s. Whoa, we have C4-3, and then we have Candy, who uses a 4 as the A. Wow, we have dueling C4s in the TBWZ universe. Congrats to us, brother. I'm going to clip all of that. Stretching was one, right? Stretching. And then Embiid is soft. Sorry, I got to write this down, guys. In all seriousness with this series with the Sixers, can they win without him? Probably not. Not against this New York team the way that they're playing. I just struggle to completely discredit Tyrese Maxey, Paul, P.E.D. George, and the Bahamian Nightmare by saying they're going to get swept. I think they're good enough to at least extend this to 5 or 6 without Joel Embiid. But the prospect of winning this series just got a whole lot harder for Philadelphia. There they are. The C4s are talking to each other now. This is bad. The C4 gang is at it again. That's not a hot take at all. Paycom is the loudest arena in the league. Yeah, JD. Absolutely. Paycom rocks. I do want to say, real quick, guys, all jokes aside, head coach Nick Nurse of the Philadelphia 76ers, I just wanted to offer a bit of condolences as he and his family mourn the unexpected death of his brother Steven. During the series with the Celtics, Steven Nurse passed away unexpectedly. He was the equipment manager at NIU, Northern Iowa University. Been there for a long, long time in his life, dedicated his whole life to sports and serving that community and serving that school very, very well. And he died unexpectedly last week, leaving behind a pain that I think every sibling can understand or at least empathize with a little bit. I'm a man who, the God family football thing. I'm like, number one thing I think I am in my life is a brother. I think the number one thing I am in my life is a brother. I'm not a husband yet. You know what I mean? I'm not a father yet. I can't claim those titles, but I can claim the title of brother and son and sports media mogul. Do you need to be a millionaire to be a mogul? Just sports media guy? Yeah. Talker. Unprofessional, amateur talker. Amateur sports taker. Brother number 1, son 2, amateur sports taker 3. But number 1 overall child of God. But I'm a brother first and foremost, man. So obviously you can empathize with the idea of losing a brother. It's tough, dude. Coach Nurse obviously finished the series, and he went on to win it, which feels like the best thing he could have done to honor his family. I don't really know a whole lot about Nick Nurse, but it doesn't strike me as someone who's going to give up easily. Unlike Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller was at the Met Gala instead of the Knicks game on Monday, proving to be the fakest fan in Knicks history. Proving to be the fakest Knicks fan in the universe. Bro, every true hoops head I know cares more about who is sitting courtside at the Knicks game than the actual game itself. Brother, come on now. Who gives a crap about the rich, disassociated 1%er sitting courtside at the game? Ben Stiller's wife probably wanted to go to the Met Gala. For her own selfish, narcissistic reasons, she wanted to go do a dress-up party with billionaires, okay? And he wanted to respect his wife's wishes and say, yes, dear, and he wanted to go to the Met with her instead of to go to the game. I think he was just being a good husband. I think he thought he should do that, and it was a good move. But Timmy Chalamet doesn't think that for 1 second, brother. Lisan Al-Gaib was at the game. He didn't care about no Eyes Wide Shut costume party. He doesn't care about playing dress up with billionaires. He wants to sit courtside and play dress up with millionaires. It's just insane how dumb the whole celebrity row thing is at Madison Square Garden. Like, who really cares about that? But for real, between you and I, Ben Stiller's a fraud. Timothy Chalamet, you are the Prince of New York. And Spike, you're still the king. That is the TBWZ official celebrity rankings of Madison Square Garden and Knicks fans. Shout out to Fat Joe. What are we doing? It's crazy to think that like thousands and thousands and thousands of people are going to tune in to watch this one day. They're like, wow, this is what I love. The Cavs and the Pistons series, brother. Oh, yeah, that is basketball through and through. I absolutely love every second of it. Last night's game was awesome. Cade Cunningham is so good at basketball, dude. And every time I watch him play a game, a shiver of disgust tingles down my spine. SGA's pansy flopping antics is going to win MVP over Cade, who's just out here playing hoops and getting ethical buckets. Let's do this real fast. I need to pause real quick and explain ethical buckets to maybe the uninitiated. Because right now there might be unk out there or just, 30-year-old unk out there be like, I don't get the whole unethical and ethical hoops thing, okay? That is a word that 14-year-olds just learned in vocab, and they're like, how can I apply this to the rest of my life? They've deemed the play of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as unethical. Not in the sense that he's cheating on his wife or has a million baby mamas or is doing bad things like gambling on sports, whatever. Not true ethics. The way that he hoops is unethical. It's all about the foul baiting. It's about flailing his arms. As Rafael Devers goes yard. He's on my fantasy team, baby. Solo shot Rafael Devers. Put San Francisco on the board. It's 1-1. Has the Angel game started yet? Someone let me know. What's good, Oreo? Sorry, guys. Checking if the Angel game has started. It has. Angels are up 3-1. Let's go. Sorry, I'm going to just put that on real fast. That's my team. That's my squad. We won last night against the White Sox. I'm so happy. Can we win again today? We're up 3-1. Probably going to lose because that's how it works. Ethical hoops is Cade Cunningham. That's LeBron James. That's lowering your shoulder, embracing contact, getting to the hoop, and trying to finish the basket. What Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does and the rest of the unethical hoopers out there, they're trying to trick the referees. They're doing smoke and mirrors. He's not going to the hoop trying to score. He's going to the hoop playing mousetrap with the referee, trying to trick him into falling underneath a green basket or whatever how that game works. He's trying to trick referees into seeing something that's not actually there by flailing his arms like a pansy. That is unethical. He's getting his hoops and his buckets and his points and his awards and his accolades by dancing and being a theatrical person. Whereas Cade Cunningham gets to the hole and tries to put the ball in the hoop. Zach Neto rips it down the line. Josh Lowe's going to score from second. Neto's going for three. That's a stand-up triple. Let's go, Angels. I did lose to Oreo the Cat in fantasy baseball last week. That did happen. I forgot to mention it. Shout out to Oreo the Cat on beating me in fantasy baseball. I'll never forgive you. The Pistons took game one in this series by 10 as Cade Cunningham and the Pistons were able to finally look like a number one seed in this game and settle in nicely to this matchup with Cleveland. Legit, brother. The first 4 games of that series with Orlando, Detroit looked really, really bad. The last 4 have all been wins by an average margin of victory of 14 points as the team looks like they are finally stepping into who they were all season. I honestly just think that all the playoff jitters are gone and they're back to just playing Detroit-style basketball. And we saw it last night. A big issue that we had with the Pistons in round 1 was Jalen Duren. Hey, brother, he was there last night. He stepped up. He's playing that game. He's out there doing it then. Every once in a while, I'm like, I'm on the verge of like applying to jobs in sports media, like sending in a tape to Fox Sports or Barstool or CBS, whatever they have, HQ. The idea of like putting together a highlight tape and be like, hey, here's who I am. I'm a guy. I'm an amateur sports talker. Here's my tape. What do you think? And every once in a while I have a really good power hour where it's well written. I think I've got good flow and energy. And I'm like, yeah, this is a good one. I might just send in this power hour because I think I've been cooking. But then I remembered the thing, Blaking Blad, that thing. And I just can't. Maybe they'll like that. I don't know. It'd be funny if the whole time they're like, yeah, we love this guy. And then I talk about my Korean friends dressing up like Walter White and Jesse Pinkman and saying, Breaking Bad. And they're like, never mind. I sound like a broken record with this Cleveland team, brother, but they just make me so angry. Obviously, James Harden turning the ball over 7 times is not going to help you win playoff games. Side note on that one, it's the 29th time in James Harden's career. Sorry, it's the 29th playoff game for James Harden where he's had more turnovers than field goals made. That's bad. Hey, that sucks. He still got his hoops. He still got his like 22 or whatever. But he only made 6 shots from the field and had 7 turnovers. I'm not going to sit here and like pretend. There we go. There we go, Mikey T. A little base hit single to score now from third. It's 5-1 now, Angels. Bottom of the second. Murakami on first base guarding Mike Trout. Guarding? 7 turnovers, 6 made field goals. 29th time in his career. That's just a terrible stat. But the real issue here for me is the lack of team basketball being played by this Cleveland Cavaliers team. The whole offense seems to be James Harden and Donovan Mitchell alternating ISO sets without much success, and it reminds me a lot more of a pick up basketball team than a group of dudes collectively competing together. This is a team that had 41 different lineups in the regular season, and it just feels like they still don't have their rotations solidified. How you get to this point in the season, you still don't have your rotations solidified. They ran 11 guys last night, not knowing who was going to be the dude or who was going to step up. I don't think you should be running 11 guys. The only team that ran more were the Oklahoma City Thunder. They ran 12 guys, and they got 37 points from their bench. The reason they run 12 is because all those guys off the bench are really, really good at basketball. I think the series is going to be pretty lopsided in favor of Detroit as Cleveland goes into tonight's game 0-5 on the road in the playoffs as Vaughn Grissom flies out on the warning track, just a few feet from a 2-run dinger. But it is 5-1. A little 3-run inning right there from the Halos. Good job, fellas. Oh, no, that was like a 4-run inning. Unbelievable, guys. Absolutely love it. You have the Veenie seal of approval. Or the Cats said, I have this nasty bruise on my chin and a thumb that doesn't want to move because I got hurt twice during my baseball game yesterday. You have a bruise on your chin and your thumb won't move? Sorry, Oreo. Someone loosen that boy's thumb up real quick. The Lakers and the Thunder played last night, and the Lakers lost by 18 points. I just wanted to, real quick, can we just watch this? This was all from the same quarter, guys. Every single one of these plays was from the same quarter. This music sucks. What is that? What is that? This isn't basketball. He's trying to sweep through Austin's arms and flail rather than try to score. He's not actually trying to score the basketball. He's trying to trick the referees. This one. What? You know the noise that female tennis players make when they hit the ball? It's the same noise that SGA makes every time he shoots. Watch this. Look at his left arm, or his left arm goes behind his head. It's an 18-degree angle, all in an attempt just to trick the referee. That Luke Kennard clearly going straight up with 17 fingers. That looks so weird. Dude, you're trying to trick the referee into thinking Luke Kennard was playing tough defense on you. Stumbles back 5 steps. Dude, punch me in the face. I'm not going to stumble back twice. No. Bro, punch me as hard as you can in the face. I'm not stumbling. Because I'm a man and I embrace contact. Oh my gosh. That's the noise he made on the floor. You have DeAndre Ayton on you, right? You are past him right now. You've got a great move to the basket here. I know he's tall. You could have used your size and length to just get an easy underhand layup with the right on a slower DeAndre Ayton, who's right now 7 feet from the basket. You could lay it up from here. What does he do? He decides to do a step back, try to get DeAndre on top of him, realizes DeAndre's not on top of him, so he's like, I'm just going to throw the ball in the air and fall backwards. That's not hoops. Try to put the ball in the bucket, bro. Oh my gosh. Bro went full horizontal mode in the air trying to sell for a foul where nobody touched him. Ouch! Ow! Ref! Instantly turns to the ref. Rev! Not even trying to score the basket. Okay, Cade Cunningham does this. Look, get on here. Luke Kennard's whole energy is going this way. You have 3 help defenders on this side. Spin out of it and get to the hoop and try to score. Nah, what am I going to do? Ah! Ouch, ow, ow. Look at, oh. Bro, we make fun of Cat all the time for this picture. SGA does that 17 times a game. Ah. This is all from the same quarter. Ow, 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 ow. Not even actually trying to play basketball. Ouch. This was a nasty move, too. This one's not that bad. It's still not great. This was such a nasty move. There's 4 defenders right here. This is why it's so frustrating, because he's so good, bro. Look how quickly he gets from the 3-point line. He gets a screen set up here, completely loses his guy. Jackson Hayes moves off of Caruso. LaRavia crashes in off of Joe. He splits these 2 with his speed, gets inside the paint, fakes left on Rui, goes right. He's got a 7-footer above him. Bro, just ow! Ouchie! I don't think I need to say much more about the series. Jared Vanderbilt dislocated his pinky so bad in game 1 that the bone broke skin, and it appears like he's going to be missing some more time, which is a huge blow to the Lakers. Man, but the real blow to this Lakers team happened over a month ago, when the NBA scoring champion tore his hamstring against this same exact team. Listen, man, the Thunder are insanely hard to deal with in a million different ways, bro. So I can mock them all day for the foul baiting stuff. The reason it's so annoying is if they didn't do that, they would still be just as good and people would respect them and like their game a lot. But they choose to play this game in the most soft, PUSSY way I've ever seen a basketball team play. They're a bunch of pansy losers, dude. They're so incredibly soft, and it's not just SGA. The worst is watching Chet flop. You're 7 feet tall. Go to the hoop like an actual man and try to score. They're not trying to score. They're trying to get referees to get tricked and go, oh, he flailed his arms in the air. Oh. The best part was the refs were not biting last night, and if they don't bite the rest of the series, man, LA does have a chance in this one. But we don't have Luka Doncic. You need scoring to combat what the Thunder are doing. Defensively, the Lakers played really good last night, but you need scoring to combat the number 1 team defense in the league. Funny enough, the number 1 scorer in the NBA is on the bench right now for the Lakers. We lost by 18 last night. You don't think Luka has 18 points in his bag? You don't think he's got 19? Luka plays last night. The Lakers win that game. The Lakers go up 1-0. LeBron's been insane this entire playoff run and continues to put up insane numbers to keep the squad at least slightly competitive. He had 27 last night. Austin Reeves, though, was terrible last night. Shooting 19% from the field, is now 2 for 17 from 3 in the playoffs so far. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and just say, like, yeah, he's probably playing a little bit hurt. An oblique strain absolutely affects your shooting, but AR doesn't add much on defense, man, and it feels like the team was playing better without him. Him, Marcus Smart, and Luke Kennard were combined 8 for 35 from the floor last night, combining for as many points as the 41-year-old LeBron James. You're playing against a team that plays insane defense, has 100 different dudes off the bench that can go out and get a bucket, and your best scorer is on the bench. You need all of your role players to step up for Los Angeles, and they did not. If they do, if they find a way just to shoot half decent, they win that game last night. Luke Kennard, Austin Reeves, Marcus Smart, 8 for 35 from the floor. You realize they if they make 6 or 7 more shots, the Lakers are winning the game. It's just crazy to me, man. And I'm going to be able to hold this one for the rest of the time. Luka Doncic plays in this series. It's a whole different ball game. We need scoring, and our number 1 scoring option is currently on the bench. What up, Big Hunt Dog? What up, JD? All the homies jumping into the chat. Fellas, that, my friends, is the Power Hour. See you again next time.